Hi, hello, good morning. Welcome to the devorbit. So today we are going to discuss one of the interview question. Okay. Last month I have attended one of the interview. So where they were asking these questions. So today I'll be sharing with you. So let's start with one. The question is okay. Question is how to access files that are present in shared path. Shared location. Okay. Shared location. So actually the interview starts. They are asking the like point to point kind of thing, so it's a discussion of one on one, right? So the initially it was started with, so they so this is me and this is the interviewer. Okay, so they started asking like, no, so I have a database. Okay, I have a database and I have the third party service. Okay, let's consider this the service, right? So sorry. So let's consider here. I so I have files, that is XML files, and it is stored in shared path. Uh, but the question initially it was asked to, I have a database. So from third party service, we will receive bunch of XML files. Those are stored in the DB. Okay, from DB I need to process using microservices, Spring Boot, Python, any, okay, any service here, any language, and I should communicate to the uh, other service. I need to send these files to other service. Okay, this is the requirement. So how you will handle these cases, they are mentioned. So here they mentioned, so for one request we have XML file and it has 5 MB of data. Okay, so XML here, if it is if you convert XML to string, okay, the size is different. And when you convert this XML to POSO conversion, here size is different, because XML, if everything is considered as a string, the way it is allocating the memory is different. But the same XML, if you convert into POSO, it has instances here. Okay, based on instances, JVM will create heap memory, because object memory will be then object memory allocation will be done in the JVM heap, right? So so they ask like, so how will you send the data from DB, those XML data to service? So I have XML of 5 MB or each 1 MB. So I have mentioned, so I'll create a scheduler where it will trigger for every 10 minutes. It's based on the load. So uh, based on load it will pick the data from the DB, and once it is picked from the DB it will mark to the status to some process or some started something like some status. It should not pick again the same the other cron. Okay, to mark it some in progress status, and will send to the data to third party service. Once we receive the success response we'll update it to the completed status. So this is where I have mentioned, but later he asked the different question. Okay, the extension of this one. So I have a common share path. Okay, in common share path suppose like XML folder. Okay, this is the common location where from third party service they are keep on adding data to this folder. Okay, XML files, keep on adding XML files. So I have a Java application. I need to read these data one by one, convert it to POSOs, and manipulate based on the business requirement. Okay, and then I need to send these data to third party service. Here our application is doing this functionality. Okay, these will come from other vendor v1 communicating to v2, this is our service. Then v2 also communicating v3, this is the other service. Here the problem here is that here I have 1000 records. Let's example. So I have picked 1000, processed, completed, and sent to third party. Okay, this is fine for one service. Like if I have only one microservice, okay, then it is fine. For example, so there was a load, it's very huge. Suppose if is let's take example like transportation application. Okay, transportation application from vendors we will keep on getting orders. Okay, let's assume we'll receive order as XML format, like place order, have product ID, quantity, product ADD, address. Okay, this is like an XML file. The same way, so from the vendors, okay, we'll keep on get the data from all vendors, and they are storing in the common shared location. And from shared location our application should pick the data, and based on this data we need to have some validations, right? Like where the product information is valid, quantity, some data validations. Okay, source and target details were added or not, these kind of checks are need to check, right? Once this is everything is done, then we should send this information to transportation, like the shipment related thing to the other service. Here these we are handling to other service. Okay, in this use case if you see I have so 10,000 XML files. For each second I'm getting 10,000 requests. Okay, so once one microservice is not in a position to handle all these requests. It is very difficult because the load is very high, and the processing time also very less. And if anything like stuck in the, like, if you process multiple records of 10,000 or like more records at a time, we might get out of memory issues. So here how they suggest is, so instead of one microservices, I have scale up to 3 microservices. Then how it would be? Okay, how it will be means how the data will pick from here to, from v1 to v2, from v2 to v3. So everything fine, but here we have 3 microservices: service 1, service 2, service 3, and we have one shared location, XML files. Treat it as a order placement. Okay, so here keep on inserting the data, and suppose service 1 pick the data and it start processing and send to v3. Again service 2 pick the data, processing, send, service 3 processing, send. This is fine, but the problem here is service 1 picked first 1000 records, processed, and service 2 should not pick these 1000 records, and service 3 also should not pick these 1000 records. It should start picking the next 1000 and next 1000 in the shared from shared path. So if it has any DB rated thing where we can maintain the status, based on the status we can retrieve and we can manipulate and we can send. That's no known solution. But the problem here is this is for a shared location, right? So shared location, how we will restrict that one? So I have 3 microservices and I have n number of XML files, and duplication should not allow. Duplication means one service processor request should not picked by other service. So if same XML is processed by other services, then duplication of data will go, unnecessary like invalid validations, right? It's not a business requirement, it's a bug, it's an issue. So how can we fix this issue? How can we fix? Any idea on this? If you have any idea, please comment in the chat. Okay, any guess? Yeah, so I also have think multiple ways. So but I'm keep on thinking in the DB rated thing, but I don't know how SharePath will handle these, because in SharePath we don't know, like one process is one service is started picking, how the other services know whether this is already picked or not. If it is already picked, then it should not pick. If it is already not picked, then it should pick. And the data keep on adding into the source folder, because we are getting the data from the third parties, right? Those third party vendors, so they all keep on placing the orders, so we'll keep on receiving the orders from the queue like Kafka. And once we received, and we will store in the shared location. From shared location, how we need to send to the other service. So I keep on thinking, so but I didn't get an idea. Later I asked an interview, so they mentioned, like, so there is a concept called before this, let me explain with the other example. So if you see WebLogic server, okay, I think most of the people know WebLogic server. So this is developed by Oracle. So here we have global transactions, okay, application 1, application 2, when you have transaction between application and application 2, this both are deployed in WebLogic server. So WebLogic server had data source, global data source, okay, and it is shared to both application 1 and application 2. How it is going to handle in global transaction is, from application 1 it will take and it will hold into the log file, and application 2 also it will take and make the statements in a snapshot like log file, like as do commit or nothing principle we have, right? If commit is done, everything we should commit. If anything failed, we should roll back. So here it will store in the form of logs. In the logs it will store all the statements, either do or commit. This will, okay, like this. In the shared path also, okay, in the shared path also we have log dot log, okay. Suppose I have a file, uh, place order from Philips. Once it is, this is the XML. Once this is picked by the service, it will create a log file, place order dot underscore Philips dot log. If you have log means that's some kind of log. Once it is log, the other should not pick. So this is the implement, like how we'll do implementation, that is the secondary. This is the third part, like how we are going to think, right? The solution we are thinking here. So this is the one solution. And if you want to handle all these such mechanisms, so in the market, is there any third party APIs to handle this? Any open source? If you know, please mention that in the comment, okay? Any idea, guys? Yeah, we have Apache Camel. Okay, so it has the tool, it is the one of the tool where it will handle these kind of requirement. If you have multiple services, then integrating with Apache Camel will handle everything, like fetching and processing. Anyhow, we will do it from the Java, right? Java layer. The fetching will integrate, and once this is done, we will send to the other service. This is how it should handle. Okay, yeah, that's all I would like to discuss, team. So great job, team, everyone. I hope this video helped you to understand how to no understand when we communicating with the shared path, like reading or writing or where some operations on a shared path. If you have any questions or topics you would like to me to cover, drop them in the comment below. I would love to hear from you. Okay, that's all, team. Yeah, thank you for being part of Devorbit. Let's keep learning and growing together. See you in next video.